Let us entice you with this one particular excerpt from the research article, and yes, you are reading it right. An Alzheimer's disease-like mice almost had their cognitive abilities restored after 13 weeks, in this case 3 months, if you're reading the paragraph. But that is only part of the challenge. What's interesting about this more than anything else, the researchers discovered that amyloid beta, or they're aware of, I should say, and tau protein aggregates, these things that you hear quite often, which are quite nasty per se, and people think they're bad altogether, well, they're also shown to protect the brain. However, though, the caveat, incessant exposure, as in too much of a good thing, results in the chronic inflammation that leads to many of the memory disorders that you are all too familiar with. So in this case, we're looking at the outcome in regard to Alzheimer's disease. So the challenge, to find a compound or anything that can basically do both of those, maintain the production of amyloid beta and tau protein aggregates to protect the brain, but at the same time, too, make sure you clear out the excess so you don't have incessant exposure of these protein aggregates leading to this chronic inflammation. Here comes ruby red hibiscus tea, Hibiscus saperifer or roselle. So I gave you 3 different names, the same type of tea. So we want to stick with this particular variety. And gabapentin. Gabapentin found in this ruby red hibiscus tea did the best of both worlds. It didn't break anything or try to break something to fix something, so it didn't hamper the production of the amyloid beta and the tau protein aggregates so they can maintain their task in protecting the brain. They just help remove the excessive exposure or incessant exposure, as the researchers word it, to a level which can restore their cognitive ability almost to a normal state in a mere 3 months. So, with that in mind, let's get right into the research as follows. The research team treated the Alzheimer's disease model with gabapentin through the intragastric administration for 3 months and concluded that their impaired memory and cognition were almost restored to the normal level. Furthermore, they saw a decrease in the various types of amyloid beta aggregates, which are commonly found in the brain tissue with Alzheimer's disease type dementia. Now check out this graphic, or I should say graphics. Look at the treatment group. So here's the Alzheimer's disease mice being treated with the gabapentin from ruby red hibiscus tea. Look at the positive outcomes across a myriad of variables. Check out basically the pictures in regard to the brain tissue itself. That's just 3 months of mice, not necessarily drinking, but intragastric administration of hibiscus tea at 10 milligrams a kilogram, I think of 100 microliters of water for the 13-week period of time. So here you have it, the gabapentin from ruby red hibiscus tea delivering the best of all worlds, in least in regard to this animal model. So with that in mind, let's revisit that challenge and then get right into the study itself. Here we go. Well, let's look at the methodology. There you are. 8-week-old mice, Alzheimer's disease-type mice were administered with 10 milligrams a kilogram, blah, 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 of basic gabapentin, and so on and so forth. So you get it right down. Next part. Alzheimer's disease begins as amyloid beta and tau protein aggregates form deposits in the brain tissue. And then microglia. When I say microglia, once you say microglia, you can't stop. Microglia internalize such aggregates to the phagocytosis to protect the brain. However, incessant exposure to amyloid beta will ultimately exhaust microglia, leading to chronic inflammatory reaction and damages in nerve cells. As a result, the victim suffers cognitive decline and memory loss. So that was the challenge, and that challenge they rose to and met with basically this one flavonoid from ruby red hibiscus tea, which was amazing. To proceed, a cup of ruby, now to the actual public study, I should say. Gabapentin found hibiscus may beat Alzheimer's disease. That is their title, not mine. A cup of ruby red hibiscus tea not only warms the body in the winter, which is about that time, but also is known to boost the immune system, control blood pressure, and reduce body weight. And yet is another reason to enjoy this tea. It may defeat Alzheimer's disease. Here is something in nature that could outperform basically just about any medication per se. I'm not prescribing or any publisher bias, but they actually have side benefits instead of side effects. To proceed, the professor, no disrespect, I don't want to mispronounce the name, basically verified that the gabapentin found in hibiscus activates microglia, the resident immune cell in the brain. The research team also demonstrated that microglia scavenge the amyloid beta amyloid, however you want to refer to it, in the brain to ameliorate cognitive impairments brought on by Alzheimer's disease. When you go to the full study, however, and you're not going to find this in public study, this is actually the full published study, which the links I'll always have on my YouTube channel, but I can't do it for my TikTok channel, but for YouTube I can. However, we have shown that gabapentin could effectively ameliorate the gliosis of both microglia and astrocytes. Also, gabapentin is well known for its strong antioxidant capacity. These results all suggest that gabapentin could inhibit harmful phenotypes of microglia in Alzheimer's disease while enhancing their protective role. Best of all worlds. To proceed. So actually what happens is the body's producing the amyloid beta and the tau protein aggregates, and the gabapentin's gone, here, let me make it even better for you. Proceed. The analysis demonstrated that gabapentin prevented the expression of genes associated with gliosis, which promotes the chronic inflammatory reactions, while increasing the expression of genes associated with the alpha beta, amyloid beta, phagocytosis. In other words, the gabapentin facilitated the microglia's amyloid beta clearance. To conclude, we have confirmed, and I'm quoting, we have confirmed that removing the amyloid beta aggregates deposited in the brain is effective in preventing and treating dementia. The gabapentin from hibiscus will contribute to the development of a safe and affordable drug for patients suffering from Alzheimer's disease. End quote. Safe, effective, affordable, that would be a great future. But you got to yield a lot of credit. You have to embellish an incredible amount of gratitude to these researchers and credit. Now, the trick is this. Once these research studies are done and this incredible discovery of something that basically has side benefits as opposed to side effects, as far as we know, without adding publisher bias, is yielded, we got to make sure it doesn't fall flat. You have to keep on pushing. So the gabapentin is an incredible tool that nature has yielded us in regard to this basically horrible outcome for many individuals, or unfavorable outcome, I should say, that we don't have to endure if nature has given us such tools as follows from something as simple, I don't want to say innocuous because it's kind of belittles it, but you know what I mean? They're there. Gabapentin's incredible. It's in ruby red hibiscus tea, and it's just there, and it could be incorporated in an individual's diet, potentially if they have a predisposition for such negative, I would say, variable potential in their future. I don't want to say anything negative, because nothing is inevitable, but you know what I mean. So, per se. But otherwise, gratitude to the researchers. I am humbled you watch. The links will be there for you on the YouTube channel, TikTok. I kind of have to do it, but YouTube I can. And I am always just grateful you watch and carry this information from the researchers to you. See you all next time. Bye.